The BMW i4 is a pure electric version of the BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe and the German brand's answer to the ever-popular Tesla Model 3.
It would be easy to be a bit sniffy about the i4 then, because it is a derivative of a normal petrol car, so it's not got that kind of tech-first, really ambitious feel that things like the Tesla Model 3 and the Polestar 2 do. You just don't look at it and go, wow, that's a game changer. But for various reasons, I do actually think this might be the biggest challenge yet to the Tesla's reign. Now, the i4 is offered in two different variants. This is the eDrive 40, which is the cheaper of the two, and is going to be the biggest seller. You can get it as an M50, which has got storming performance and four-wheel drive. This one's got rear-wheel drive and 335 brake horsepower, and it's got an official WLTP range of up to 365 miles. Now, before I get blown away by this gale, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel, and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of our excellent videos that we do on both new and used cars.
The BMW i4 uses a CCS and Type 2 socket, which is the European standard and is compatible with the majority of public chargers in the UK and Western Europe. With 210 kilowatt rapid charging on tap, you will get a 100-mile top-up in around about 10 minutes if you plug into a powerful enough rapid charger. The 84 kilowatt-hour battery will be fully charged from a 7 kilowatt home wall box in around about 13 hours.
So, like I said, this is a BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe basically, and that means that you get this really nice big hatchback boot opening. It's one of the real benefits of the Gran Coupe. So you get a nice big boot, good low bay, and you also get some underfloor cable storage, unless you have added the Harman Kardon audio upgrade, in which case it's mostly taken up with a speaker, which is not ideal at all. And there is no storage in the front of the i4 as you get in things like the Tesla Model 3.
There is plenty of space in the back seats for two adults, but there's no foot space for anybody in the middle, and very tall passengers might feel a bit tight for head and legroom.
It is absolutely gorgeous inside the BMW i4. I really like the interior. I think this is going to be one of the biggest selling points over all of those rivals. The seat drops really nice and low, even though you've got that battery shoehorned under the floor, so I'm not sure how they've managed that, but it's great. I would say visibility to the back isn't brilliant because it's quite a narrow rear windscreen, but apart from that, and also the quality up here is just absolutely awesome. It feels really lovely, really nice sort of dense materials, feels like it's really built beautifully. The only thing I would say is that although equipment it's all right if you go for the entry-level sport, it's very easy to spend quite a lot of money on options. Everything from your full matrix LED headlights to your head-up display, and you're definitely going to want to add the Comfort Plus pack, which adds adjustable lumbar support, keyless entry and more, so you're definitely going to have to spend at least a little bit on some options, and you can go a bit crazy if you're not careful. But you do at least get the essentials, your adaptive cruise control, you get part Alcantara seats as standard, and of course you get this absolutely stunning infotainment system.
The BMW's curved infotainment display houses the big touchscreen and digital driver's display, and it does look spectacular. It's easy to use, you can personalise the home screen tabs, the graphics are about the best out there, and there's a rotary controller and physical shortcut buttons that make it easier to use on the move than any touchscreen only system. You get all the features you want, including Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, nav and online streaming apps.
It's a BMW, so it comes with certain expectations as to how the i4 drives, but it definitely lives up to them. The only caveat I would add is that our test car, so it's an eDrive M Sport that we have here, and it has the optional pack which brings adaptive dampers. Frustratingly, you have to have the M Sport trim to get that pack too, which is a bit of a shame. So, let's face it, BMW is being a bit cynical about how much you might want to spend on options for this car. If you get it in this form, it's absolutely brilliant because it has just that right blend of sophistication but fun that you want from an executive car. Yes, the 0 to 62 time of 5.7 seconds, maybe that sort of looks a bit pedestrian on paper compared to what you get in a Tesla, but it feels anything but pedestrian in reality. It's got a really nice sort of linear build of power to it, which I quite like because it actually feels almost like a bit closer to a conventional performance petrol car than perhaps your EVs. Maybe you'll be a bit disappointed that you don't get that massive shove of torque delivery that EVs are well known for, but regardless, however you take it apart, I think the i4's pretty much, the best driver's car, electric driver's car after the Jaguar I-Pace and the Porsche Taycan. It's got really lovely steering response, maybe a touch nervous on the motorway at those sort of speeds, but you get used to that really quickly. You can stick it in sport, you get the funny kind of like EV noise, which I quite like. You can turn it off, you don't have to have it. So it handles really beautifully, it's comfortable as well. Stick it in comfort and those dampers ease off a bit. You still get nice taut body control, but you still get a really kind of sharp front end. It just kind of wants to tuck into corners, and it's really easy to gauge what the car's going to do. Don't worry about the rear wheel drive, it's got masses of grip. You can just really enjoy it. It does exactly what you want it to do. It's totally chilled on the motorway, or it's good fun on the road.
As for real-world range, the BMW i4 is impressive. Even in cold weather and with mostly motorway miles on faster rural roads, we still manage 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which means a real-world range of 267 miles. In warmer weather, we'd expect to see more like 320 to 350 miles from the i4 eDrive 40, depending on the sort of driving you're doing.
Now, one of my only gripes with the i4 is with the adaptive brake regen that you get as standard with every model in the i4 range. Brake regen, or regenerative braking, is the system whereby every EV, it feels like the car's braking when you lift off the throttle, and all it's doing is it's harvesting the energy from that natural forward motion of the car. Now, in the i4, if there's nothing in front of the car, it will coast cleanly, so it will completely freewheel, and that in itself actually can feel a little bit disconcerting if you're not expecting it, because obviously you do get engine braking in a normal petrol or diesel car. You don't get that in the i4 if there's a clear road ahead. However, if it senses a car up ahead, or even a junction and a change of speed limit, it will automatically increase that brake regen as you lift off the throttle. But it does sometimes get it a bit wrong. When you're driving through town, it senses another car and it will suddenly brake quite sharply, or if you're on the motorway and somebody pulls out into a gap a little way ahead of you, it just doesn't feel quite as well sorted in that respect as you might want. So sometimes it can get a bit caught out, and that can be a little bit disconcerting. I'd say that's probably the case for most other adaptive brake regen too, but I have found that it's a bit more intrusive in this than it is in plenty of other cars. So there you have it. It's efficient, it's fabulous to drive, it's really lovely inside. Maybe it's not a game changer like a Model 3, but I think it could be in its own way for coming in and proving that Tesla isn't the only one who can do electric executive really, really well.
The BMW proves that the old guard is catching up, that BMW can produce an electric car that shares a platform with one of its most mainstream models, yet challenges the Model 3 for efficiency, charging speeds and practicality, and can also deliver a real edge of fun for the enthusiast driver. Sure, BMW could do with upping the standard equipment. Even so, the i4 is a truly exceptional car for its objective merits as well as its subjective desirability. Tesla, finally, has some very serious competition. Head to CarGurus UK for a whole host of fantastic used cars, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel.